Okay, so ready for this. We're going deep on binary code.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yeah, it's, ones and zeros, computers, right?
Right.
The whole story's way more, like, twisty than you'd think.
It really is. Yeah, like people always think, oh, binary, that's like a new thing, right? Like digital age and all. But it's really not.
No, not even
It
close.
goes way back.
Way back. Like, we're talking early 1600s.
Yeah.
Before, internet, electricity, the works.
Like for any of that stuff.
You kind of meet this guy, Thomas Harriot.
Okay.
You know him.
Can't say that I do, no.
Okay, so he's not like a big name, but super sharp guy, mathematician.
Okay.
And he was already, get this, messing around with binary.
Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, early 1600s, that's really early.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
This guy, total notebook guy. Like every thought he had, bam, written down.
Oh, yeah, I know the type.
But a lot of it never published, just like stayed in those notebooks.
That's a shame.
It is. And it's only like centuries later, historians digging through all this stuff,
Right.
They find it, his binary work, just hidden in there.
Like buried treasure.
Totally. It makes you wonder, right? What else is out there just waiting to be found?
It really does. It makes you think, right?
Yeah.
Like how many other big ideas are just, I don't know, sitting in some attic somewhere.
Seriously. But back to Harriet. So what was he like actually doing with binary?
So he was really into like different ways of representing information, not just the decimal system we use all the time, with like 10 digits and all that.
Right, yeah.
So he was experimenting with binary, ones and zeros to basically represent numbers, to do calculations, even like to encode information.
Interesting. So really laying the groundwork without even realizing it, probably.
Yeah, like he was playing with the actual building blocks of what computers would use, centuries later.
Wild. Okay, so he got Harriet ahead of his time, but it doesn't like end there.
No, the story keeps going.
Yeah. Fast forward a bit, few decades, meet Juan Caramuel de Lobkowitz.
Okay, now there's a name.
Right.
Caramuel, now that guy was like next level brilliant.
Oh.
Like everything, math, philosophy, you name it. He was writing about it.
A true polymath.
The OG Renaissance man.
Okay, so this out-of-the-box thinking, did it lead him to binary too?
Absolutely, yeah. So 1670, he publishes this book, Mathesis Biceps, which basically means like mathematics in two parts.
Catchy.
Right. And get this, a big chunk of it, it's all about binary arithmetic.
No way.
Yeah. He's going deep on this, like really explaining the whole system.
Hold on. So 1670, he publishes this. But Leibniz, everyone says he invented binary.
Yeah, and this is where it gets really interesting. Because Caramuel, he's, 30 years before Leibniz?
30 years. So did Leibniz even know about Caramuel's work?
That is the million-dollar question. And to be honest, no one knows for sure.
Ooh, this is getting juicy.
It is, right? Like, were they just both geniuses working on the same thing at the same time, completely separate?
Parallel thinking.
Right. Or was there something else going on? Like, did Leibniz maybe,
Get some inspiration from Caramuel.
Exactly.
Ooh, okay. So we've got a potential academic scandal on our hands.
Maybe not. But to really unpack this, we got to, step back in time for a second, right?
Yeah.
Back to the 17th century. Imagine the academic world back then.
Yeah. No internet, no easy way to share research.
Right. Everything's slower, more secretive, and reputations are everything.
High stakes.
Big time. And Leibniz, well, he wasn't exactly a stranger to controversy.
Tell me more.
Let's just say there were accusations.
Oh, boy. Okay, we're diving into some serious drama next time then, because we are not done here.
Oh, not even close.
Okay, so last time things got a little, shall we say, suspicious?
A little bit, yeah. We were right in the thick of it with Leibniz and those accusations.
Accusations. Plural, there was more than one.
Oh, yeah. Leibniz, he had a knack for, let's say, ruffling some feathers in his day.
No kidding. I mean, we know Caramuel was already way ahead of the game with binary. So what exactly was Leibniz's deal? Was he really a genius or just a really good borrower of ideas?
Well, he was definitely a big deal back then, like
Yeah.
a major figure in math and philosophy.
Mm.
And yeah, his work with binary was important. I'll give him that.
Okay, so he actually did do stuff with it.
Oh yeah, he took those ones and zeros and really ran with them. He developed a whole system of binary arithmetic, really elegant, really thorough.
Right, and it wasn't just pure math for him, right?
Yes.
He saw something bigger in it, almost spiritual.
Exactly. Leibniz, He was all about this idea of like a universal language of math, a way to understand everything. And binary to him, it was like the purest form of that, the most
Yeah.
basic, the most fundamental.
Right. He even made that medallion, right, with the binary code on it, acting like he just, discovered the secrets of the universe.
Imago creatonis, yeah. It's like he's saying, look, I cracked the code, folks.
Confident guy. But knowing what we know now about Caramuel, it's like, come on, how could he just ignore all that earlier work?
Well, some historians say maybe he didn't know about Caramuel, at least not at first. Back then, ideas didn't exactly travel at the speed of light.
No Twitter, no instant academic fame. But they were both moving in those elite circles, right? Shared contacts, patrons, all that.
True, yeah. It's a small world, even back then.
So how likely is it that their paths never crossed?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And here's the thing, this whole Caramuel thing, it's not even the only time Leibniz was accused of, let's say, borrowing ideas.
Wait, really? There's more?
Yeah, he had this whole feud with Isaac Newton, about who invented calculus.
Oh, snap. That's like a legendary academic showdown right there.
Right. So, yeah, Leibniz has a bit of a reputation. Some people say he was just really good at recognizing a good idea when he saw one.
And maybe not giving credit where credit was due.
Some might say that, yeah. But others, they argue, look, Leibniz, he was a synthesizer, right? He took these existing ideas and he saw the connections, he built on them in ways no one else had.
So maybe instead of inventing binary, he perfected it.
Maybe. It's like the difference between, stumbling across a cool rock
Yeah.
and then someone else coming along and realizing, hey, this isn't just a rock, it's a diamond in the rough.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. So maybe focusing on who got there first isn't the whole story.
Exactly. Maybe it's more about who understood the true potential. And to be fair to Caramuel, he definitely wasn't just playing around.
No, that guy was way ahead of his time. That whole binary music thing blows my mind every time.
Right. Talk about thinking outside the box. Literally centuries before anyone else even considered the idea of digital music.
We got to dive into that more because honestly, every time I think about it, I have so many questions. Like, what did it even sound like?
The million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we might never know for sure.
So, okay, I'm trying to picture this, right? Like, instead of sheet music, you've got, what, just pages of ones and zeros?
Pretty much. He had this whole system worked out. Like,
Yeah.
certain combinations of ones and zeros, they'd represent different notes.
Wow. And he could actually, compose with that.
Yeah, he'd write out these patterns, these sequences, and that was his music.
Man, that's next level. I mean, talk about a musical pioneer, right? But, what did it even sound like? Was it, actual melodies and harmonies, or?
That's the big mystery, right? Sadly, no recordings.
Oh, man.
Yeah, all we have are the scores themselves. So pages of binary code, basically.
I bet it's if we could hear it now, it'd be so wild. Totally ahead of its time.
I'm sure it would be. I mean, it's like he was practically composing electronic music, but centuries before the technology existed.
Mind-blowing. But I guess it just shows, how far ahead Caramuel was thinking. Not just content with, oh, here's binary, that's cool. He's like, what can I do with this?
Right. He saw the potential,
Yeah.
Way beyond just math.
Yeah, a whole new language, not just for numbers, but for, art, creativity.
Totally. And that's what's so fascinating about this whole deep dive, right?
Yeah.
We started with Harriet, those secret notebooks, then Caramuel, taking it to a whole other level.
And of course, we can't forget our friend Leibniz.
Right, with his grand visions of, the universe speaking in binary.
It's such a trip to think about, all these brilliant minds, centuries apart, all connected by this one idea.
And not just connected, but building on each other's work.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's how knowledge works, right? It's a process.
Totally. Like a relay race, passing the baton down through time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe we can't say for sure who invented binary, definitively, but who cares, really?
That's true. The bigger picture's more interesting.
Way more interesting. It's about the journey, right? From those early explorations all the way to, I don't know, every time you use your phone,
Yeah.
every computer out there.
It's like this hidden language running everything.
And we're all speaking it every day without even realizing it.
Wild. That's a good note to end on, I think. Next time you're on your phone, remember Thomas Harriot.
And Juan Caramuel.
The OG binary pioneers. Thanks for diving deep with us, everyone. Until next time.